Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into what is arguably the most hostile yet absolutely vital environment on planet Earth, the deep sea. Now, it covers 60% of our planet, but honestly, it is an entirely different alien world down there.
Okay, let's start by confronting a pretty terrifying physical reality. Down in the deep ocean, water is roughly 800 times denser than air. Just 10 meters down, the pressure you feel doubles. So you might be wondering, what exactly would happen to a human body if you dropped it under 11,000 meters of water?
Section 1. The Dark, Crushing Descent.
As we begin our virtual drop, one of the first things you'll notice is how incredibly fast the sunlight vanishes. Dropping past the twilight zone and crossing that 3,300-foot mark, we officially enter the midnight zone. From this point on, it's permanent, pitch-black darkness and a freezing 39 degrees. But the real kicker here is the hydrostatic pressure. At the very bottom of the Mariana Trench, the pressure is a staggering 1,100 times greater than at sea level. To put that into perspective, that's over 11,000 metric tons of force pushing in on you from every possible direction. If an unprotected human were somehow suddenly teleported down here, it would literally feel like having several heavy cement trucks parked directly on your chest. Our soft tissues would compress instantly, and the gases in our tissue would form expanding nitrogen bubbles that violently block the bloodstream. Long story short, our organs would be instantly crushed.
Section 2. Surviving extreme ocean pressure.
Which brings us to an incredible biological mystery. How does anything manage to live down here? Meet TMAO. It's a biochemical marvel that essentially acts as a structural anchor. It literally stops the water molecules inside a deep-sea fish from distorting under all that weight, preventing their proteins from being crushed from the inside out.
And they didn't just stop at chemistry. These creatures radically change their anatomy. The deeper you go, the more gelatinous the bodies become. And you know those swim bladders regular fish use to float? Gone. Down in these subphotic zones, any internal cavity filled with gas would just instantly implode. Section 3. Alien ecosystems in the dark.
Hitting the ocean floor, we pivot from just physical survival to ecosystems that scientists actually used to think were completely impossible. With zero sunlight, plants obviously can't exist. Instead, these lightless food webs rely on chemosynthesis. Basically, bacteria harness energy directly from Earth's internal heat and toxic chemicals to produce simple sugars. When you look at them side by side, it completely rewrites the rules of biology. Unlike photosynthesis, which consumes carbon dioxide using sunlight, chemosynthesis is powered by chemical energy, like hydrogen sulfide. It allows complex life to absolutely thrive in toxic, 700-degree water that would instantly kill any surface life. Look closely at these alien structures. These are towering hydrothermal vents, spewing boiling mineral-rich black smoke. Yet somehow they are completely blanketed in life. We're talking 7-foot-long tube worms, bizarre hairy snails, and massive mats of bacteria that kind of look like cotton candy. But even far away from the vents, life finds a way. A single dead whale sinking from the surface is an absolute jackpot for the deep sea. This whale fall creates a temporary, super nutrient-dense ecosystem that feeds millions of deep-sea creatures, including these crazy bone-eating worms, for decades in an otherwise barren desert. Section 4. Exploring the Mariana Trench. Now, let's journey into the ultimate deep, the Mariana Trench, an abyss deeper than Mount Everest is tall. This massive, crescent-shaped scar on the Earth's crust isn't an accident. It's formed at a subduction zone, right where the ancient, dense Pacific plate is violently thrust beneath the Mariana plate.
Conquering this trench took over a century of serious, incredible engineering. We progressed from the HMS Challenger dropping a simple weighted rope back in 1875 to the Trieste in 1960, James Cameron's famous solo dive in 2012, and then Victor Vescovo breaking the depth record with a 7-mile drop in 2019.
What's wild is that humans have mapped less than 5% of the ocean floor. So to reveal these hidden underwater mountains and canyons, we rely heavily on echo sounders, firing acoustic sound waves from research vessels that bounce off the bottom and slowly map the terrain.
Section 5. Deep-sea carbon sinks.
Zooming back out to the big picture for a second, let's uncover why this alien world is absolutely vital to our survival on the surface. It's called the biological pump. Surface phytoplankton absorb atmospheric CO2, they die and they sink. Then, deep-sea biodiversity consumes that organic matter, essentially burying the carbon in deep sediments for millions of years.
Recent scientific explorations have proven that this highly active microbial life hidden in the trenches is absolutely crucial. They turn the deep ocean into our planet's single largest carbon sink, playing a massive, irreplaceable role in regulating our global climate.
Section 6. Human Impact Down Deep.
Tragically, our descent concludes with a pretty sobering realization. We are poisoning an ecosystem we barely even understand. Scientists have found banned chemical toxins, like PCBs, bomb carbon from mid-century nuclear tests, and get this, microplastics in literally 100% of the deep-sea amphipods they tested.
But honestly, the biggest gut punch? When explorer Victor Vescovo finally reached the absolute bottom of the Challenger Deep in 2019, nearly 7 miles underwater, in the most remote environment on Earth, one of the very first things he saw out his window was a plastic bag. Our trash beat us there. So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. The deep sea harbors biological marvels and quietly regulates the very climate that keeps us alive. But will we destroy this incredible alien world before we even manage to uncover the rest of its secrets? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and we'll see you next time.